So today we're going to be dealing with a version of percent increase or decrease, focusing on tax increases or sale prices. This is something that you've already seen every day in your real life, but you don't necessarily have realized how it comes into the math classroom. So, first question is, what are taxes? Okay, well, taxes are a percent increase on what you pay to help pay for government, things like roads and schools and government and courts and all that kind of stuff. So stuff that's in your life that you don't know where it comes from usually is paid with by taxes. The way that we figure out taxes is that when you go to the store and you have a bill of $21.53, what you do is you pay 6% more on that. So what you do is you take this 21.53 and you take it times 0.06. 21.53 times 0.06. And that becomes 1.29. What you do with that 1.29 is you're going to add it back to your original starting number. And that gives you $22.82. And what that means is that extra $1.29 went to the government to pay for those things, but your bill actually was $22.82, even though you only bought items worth $21.53. So another example down here, if we have $172.24 as our bill, we are going to find our tax by taking that times 0.06, which gives us $10.33. So we're going to take that $10.33 and we're going to add it back to our starting number. And our actual bill is $182.57. Just like that. Okay, so that's taxes. And it really doesn't get any more difficult than that. Some states have different ways that they do taxes. Minnesota doesn't have a sales tax, but they have higher property taxes. And that's something you really won't deal with until you're much, much older. But sales tax is something that everyone deals with no matter how old they are. Now, this time the tax is at 7%. Some states have 7% tax. And I want you to figure out what the sales tax is for each of these numbers, and then I will put the answers up for you. So here are the answers for each of these. For the sake of time, I'm not going to go through each. If you have questions, make sure you ask me on those. Moving on. Sales. You want to buy a new t-shirt. Something funny like there at the bottom, and it costs $20, but it's on a 20% sale. So what's the new cost? Well, this is the same idea of taxes, except instead of adding it on the last step, we're going to subtract. So we want to do $20 times 0.2, because we're going to change that to a decimal, and we get 4. So then we take that 20 and we subtract that 4, and our new shirt costs $16 after the sale. Now, I am not going to do sales and taxes in the same problem. It gets really confusing. Do you do the taxes at the beginning, at the end? So it's either going to be the sale cost or it's going to be the tax problem. I'm not going to try to mix those up. Okay, so now we have $26 and a 30% sale. So we do, if this opens, 26 times 0.3. gives us 7.8. So we take that $26 minus that 7.8, and that means our shirt now costs $18.20. Now, talk about something real quick here. If you give me 18.2 like this, I will count it wrong, because there is no such thing as $18.2. Okay, you have to put the 0 behind it, or else you're not labeling the money correctly. All right? I'd like you to try both of these on your own and see what you get. So for the top one, we do $55, but it's a 55% sale. So we take 55 minus 30.25, and we get 24.75. Just like that. On the bottom, we do 45.24 times 0.1, which is 4.52. So it is now $40.72. And the last thing that we're going to learn how to do is, if we're given what the new cost is and we want to figure out what the sale percent was, there is a method for that. And that'll go back to percent change. So you paid $25.50 for a shirt that was originally $30. What was the sale percent? So what we do here is we're going to take this $30 and we're going to subtract the 25.50. So we can find the change, which is 4.5. And then we're going to divide it by the $30, because remember, it's always change over original. So we get 4.5 divided by 30, which is 0.15, or 15%. Down at the bottom, same idea. Paid $120 for groceries. We bought $120 for groceries. We paid $127. So we get 127.20 minus 120, which is 7.2. And we put that over our original, which is the 120. And that gives us our percent, which is 0.06 or 6%. Okay, change over original. Try these two on your own, and then we are done. So for the top one, you get $10 over 45, which is 22%, about. It's obviously an estimation on that one. This one, we do 35 over 350, which is 0.1 or 10%. Very high tax in that state. All right, questions, make sure you bring them to me, and the assignment is posted on the website.